This ain't no joke.
Try to see me there.
I'm Jamie Allman.
I'm Judi Diamond, and this is the Allman Diamond Experience.
Compromise is fair.
Welcome to the experience. Boy, look at that wave.
Look at the wave. We're riding the wave.
We are.
Allman Diamond Experience.
You have the headphones on. I don't. So how's it sound?
You want to wear them?
Nope, you got them.
You sure?
I trust you.
Okay. Do they make my butt look big?
That's a good one. I want a T-shirt that says, "My headphones, do they make my butt look big?"
Right.
I have a really interesting question. Now, I normally I'll surprise you with things. This time I actually asked you off mic. So today I want to delve into something that has been asked of me. By the way, if you're new to the show, Jamie Allman is considered more conservative. I'm considered more liberal.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And yet we find common ground. We're trying to connect.
Yes, you and Billy do a great show together, #1 rated show in St. Louis, and that says a lot. And then I've got Common Sense Conservative Radio on The Patriot as the All in the Morning Show. So
and he's like got all these Emmys and all these awards, and
I worked in television as a past life.
Yeah. So, we see different sides a lot, but as a liberal, I have a lot of liberal friends, and this is really interesting. I have one of my good friends I used to work with. I'm not going to say who it is, but the person is gay and a conservative. And even I thought back then, my mind has changed since I've known you and I've done this show. But even back then, I thought, how can you be a conservative and be gay? And this is a question that I think a lot of liberals have.
Yes. I guess the question means the same when you say, how can you be gay and be a conservative, or how can you be conservative and be gay?
Right.
Yes.
So I figured, let me throw it at you, Jamie, because you've changed my mind about a lot of things. And
Yes.
you've opened up my mind. Not changed, but opened up, and sometimes changed.
Yes. Well, under the umbrella of God loves all people, as you have so eloquently put it so many times, I believe that a gay conservatives is in the perfect place, really, because conservatives believe that we all ought to be left up to our own devices. We believe in liberty. We believe in freedom. We believe in limited government. The problem that we've had in the past is people who are conservatives have decided they wanted to direct relationships and all kinds of things through banning gay marriage and doing all that kind of thing.
And I think that's the first thing that comes through my head.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And if you're a true conservative and you really believe in limited government, you wouldn't want the government deciding who gets married at all. I don't even know why one has to have a marriage license as a heterosexual. You know what I'm saying?
I totally think that I think marriage is outdated.
Yes.
I do.
And why do you have to apply for a marriage license or anything like that? And I remember the whole argument. I remember back in the day, it's like, well, if we allow gays to get married,
anybody can get married.
Yeah, well, from marrying a horse.
Right.
It's like, oh, come on.
That's my dad's argument. I swear it is. I go, oh, Daddy, really?
Well, I mean, frankly, unfortunately, liberty's not easy. You have to put up with stuff you want to put up with. And frankly, under the construct of liberty, you could marry a horse.
Well, but the horse, the horse doesn't speak, so the horse doesn't know if it wants to marry you.
Exactly.
So it's not really,
Well,
unless it's Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed, kids look it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Talking
you can
horse.
tell. Yeah. Well,
you can tell by the look of the horse.
No, what you do is all you do is you feed the horse peanut butter and then make it talk like they did with Mr. Ed.
Oh my God, is that how they did it?
I guess.
But it is crazy. I mean, there is a line. I mean, think about a guy who's, let's say he's 50 and he's marrying a 13-year-old girl and the parents consent. There might be an issue there.
Well, and to me, I believe consent laws are primary there. So I don't believe a minor can consent to anything.
Right.
So if it's a minor.
And that's a whole nother argument.
Yes.
What is a minor? Because we were talking about this earlier. I want to do another show on what constitutes a minor, because that's interesting.
But I think conservatives, if they really want to be true to their conservatism, should have no problem with a gay person getting married. And what's odd to me oftentimes, and I've said this before, is that I'm trying to get through the mindset of, for instance, if you're a Republican or a conservative and you want to ban abortion, I actually believe laws don't cure abortion. I believe that giving people the best opportunities they can have and to flourish in a great economy and all that kind of stuff will prevent abortions by their very nature, because abortions are not had because people want them. Abortions are had because people don't feel like they have choices. And so
this was a great episode, by the way, called The Rationals that we did, and we talked about this. If you're interested in listening, you should go back.
Yeah, and so my feeling is that if you are conservative and you actually believe that God loves all people and that God is love, a loving relationship to me is a loving relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because the government, some people who are conservatives or call themselves conservative, want the government to step in and prevent gays from getting married, which isn't conservative, because you want the government to get involved in relationships.
So it's the opposite of what you're saying, of what they want. They want less government, but then they're saying get involved.
Yes, then they want a ban on gay marriage, which I think there's still some dinosaur elements of the conservative movement who still want that.
Okay,
but those are people who are saying, well, God says that a man and a woman are only a marriage is between a man and a woman only because it's demanded they procreate, and that's why that they say that marriage between a man and a woman. Now, I frankly think that there is no one that will determine a marriage unless you get to have the government involved, except God.
Right.
And the only reason that we say that a marriage is between a man and a woman and the government should dictate that it is between a man and a woman, that's not for the government to dictate. So if you're a true libertarian and conservative and you believe in liberty, then you shouldn't want the government to lay judgment on any kind of marriage or union between two people.
So can I go to another way then, just to parlay this into, if you go by, as you bring up the Founding Fathers a lot,
yes.
Okay, a lot of people, this supposedly United States, and I differ on this, but based on Christianity.
Yes.
Okay, the Christian religion doesn't see, or a lot of Catholics don't see.
Oh, yeah.
Gay marriage. So how does that work?
Well, I'm a Catholic, and on my radio show, I have said I don't care who gets married.
Okay.
And I have also said that I'm in support of gay adoption. And I said, if we really want to be pro-life, and I work with Thrive, and we've talked about that before, where we promote people having babies, even if they don't necessarily keep them, and because it's a life, and I consider myself to be pro-life. I'm anti-death penalty at the same time.
Right.
Then why would we then try to choose then who adopts a baby? Gay parents make great parents.
I think it.
Unfortunately, they get divorced too, like heterosexuals
like
do.
everybody else.
Whatever,
right.
Yeah,
like everybody else.
And it's not. And my opinion hasn't changed throughout my entire life. And so my opinion was my opinion even before my lovely daughter Katie told me that she was gay.
I love that you did. You've always had that opinion.
Oh, I mean, it's not because my daughter's gay, and I love my daughter, and she lives with a beautiful girlfriend named Lexi. And you know what? I hope they get married, and I hope they have babies.
Aww.
And I don't care how they have the babies, whether it's in vitro or adoption, whatever.
If they want them, they might not want to be parents.
Right.
I mean,
I asked her about that, and obviously I'm not trying to force another grandchild or whatever. What I'm
you
saying
love
is,
those grandbabies.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, though, I hope that, because my goodness gracious, the lack of love in this world, I'm surprised that even a conservative would not want more of it.
Amen,
because
brother.
that's what more of it is.
Yep.
And
all the world needs now.
The more love, the better. And
yep.
and gay parents are, I think, can be just as great as hetero parents, because we always push for the family, right?
Right.
And even though the family has changed a little bit, and I believe that gay people can be just as thriving as parents of a child as anybody else, because what children need is love anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Sometimes they don't determine it, and they go, well, they're going to teach them to be gay. It's like, not really.
You can't teach someone to be gay. You're born the way you're born, the way you're born.
Right.
I mean, that's
some of the greatest conservatives I know are gay. Richard
Are they
Grinnell.
closet?
Oh no, Richard Grinnell.
Well, because you wonder, I mean, my friend was closet for a long time, and then he got into politics.
Yeah.
So on the radio, closet, but then into politics, he came out, which was, but not on purpose. Somebody else outed, and it was one of those things where, okay, you know what? This is my private life, but okay, sure. You want to know? Here you go.
Yeah.
Which is kind of BS in my eyes. I don't think it should matter, but.
Well, when I was at the Archdiocese, I mean, half the guys in the seminary are gay. I mean, there's no question about it. But that,
you're going to get backlash.
Well, I know, but they are.
I'm not saying I
you.
disapprove or I don't know anything about it, but you'll probably get people going, what is he talking about?
But in the Catholic Church, they don't believe that being gay is a sin in itself. It's acting on the gayness.
Oh.
So if you're
it's about the sex
act. So if you're a
act.
gay seminarian, it's fine.
Just don't have
as
sex.
long as you're not being gay.
That's so weird.
Which is
to
crazy
me.
to a certain degree. And it's the one thing, and I guarantee you that I'll get backlash because they'll tell me that I'm not a true Catholic or that I'm undermining the Catholic Church in that sense. But let me tell you something. One of the most impressive things to me as a Catholic, being in a Catholic church, is I know gay people who attend Catholic Church and who are openly gay and are not closeted, but still go to Catholic Church. Now, there's a person who is heroic because they see their love of God more important than any kind of laws or whatever.
Or what makes them who they are. They see that God makes you who you are.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I know, I don't always try to bring this around to Trump. I promise you, okay? But
well, he didn't say founding fathers.
But I will. But I will tell you, some of them were probably gay. Who cares, right? I mean, back in the day. But I do remember being in Cleveland. I'll never forget this, and it was one of the reasons why I really loved President Trump at the time in Cleveland at the 2016 convention, and it was in Cleveland, and it was the first Republican in my lifetime, and I'm an old man, right?
You're not old. He says that all the time.
But the first Republican I ever heard mention defending LGBTQ rights.
I've never heard it.
First time ever that any Republican ever did it. And I thought, wow, that is really cool. Now, again, this is 2016. That's, again, even before Katie, my lovely daughter, told me she was gay, whatever, because she was still in college then, and dating a guy, right? So that was the first time that I ever saw that really in its full glory. And I will tell you that impressed me because I was like, oh my gosh, what a relief.
You have to send me that. I'd like to hear it.
We're done with the war on gay people,
right,
for crying out loud, with the Republicans always like trolling. And those were Republicans back then. And the reason why Trump broke the mold to a certain degree is because he was unlike Republicans, but he was more like a conservative in just leave the hell each other alone, for crying out loud. Like for instance, remember when the gay couple sued the pizza guy? I think it was in Indiana or whatever.
Yeah.
For not making a pizza, or no, a wedding cake.
That's what it was. It was a wedding cake.
They destroyed the business because the guy didn't make a wedding cake. Now, I will tell you, most gay people I know, if a baker doesn't want to make them a cake,
you go to a different baker.
Go to a different baker.
Right. You just lost my business. Let it go.
Why would you want to coerce somebody who doesn't believe as you do into taking part in your solemnity? And just leave it alone. So if we just would leave the hell each other alone, it'd be great. But everybody fucks with everybody all the time.
So true.
And it's like, and once they get in somebody's business, and most gay people don't approve of harassing somebody to make a cake for them or a pizza for them. There's something with
it's
the
always
pizza.
there's always one that ruins it for the rest of the crowd.
Right.
No matter what you are or what you feel. And I love what you said. There's so much you said in there that's great. And we're keeping it short. There is one more episode we're going to do, but you'll have to wait for it. And that's one that I posed a question to you, Jamie, about God being a he.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about that on the next episode. But what do you think about religion and homosexuality, LGBT I can never say it all. It's been
Yeah.
it's that whole big long L.
Well, LGBTQ, even when she was going after Hamas, Pink said LGBTQTI. I don't even know what it was.
How about
But
just
God love her.
humans?
Yeah.
God love Pink.
Exactly.
I love you, Pink, for everything you do. So,
But you know what? Here's another thing though. When it comes to the looking at it through a conservative lens, whatever. At some point, I think people have to kind of get to the point where we know what's important and we know what's not important. And listen, there's so much division and so much lack of love in the world. It's like, how could you possibly not enjoy? And believe me, most gay people aren't like whatever gay people you see wanting to promote bathroom usage or whatever, and they try to promote the idea that gay people are predators, child
or they
predators.
want to have sex all the time. That's all gay people want to do is have sex all the time. Hey, they could say that about redheaded, blue-eyed women, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, on the other hand, too,
You know what I mean? It's
I
like
know.
it's so ridiculous. Some of the things that people like say, or come on.
I did talk to a car dealer once about this, about gay people, whatever. I don't know whether the issue was gay people, and he goes, "I love gay people because they got money."
I'm sure gay people going, why are you putting me in a group of gay people?
But he said, I love.
They have money.
Some of my best
Expendable,
customers are gay people.
right.
They got money.
Yeah.
And it might be because they might be couples that don't have kids yet, but whatever.
My niece. I don't know if her and her wife are ever going to have kids. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they got expendable income, sure. You know, but
Well, I think we're so past that whole point now. I think we
I
just need
hope.
to kind of grow up as a nation.
You would hope.
And embrace whatever love we can anywhere we can.
Yep.
And plus, they'll marry a horse. It's like, who wants to marry a horse anyway?
who wants to? I go back to the whole marriage contract, which we never did have a show on. One day we will.
Yeah.
I think it's outdated. The whole point of marriage contracts. We were living till we were 30. I mean, come on, it's done. Don't just be with the one you love. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
Right. Well, it's interesting too, and that's a good one. Love the one you with.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crosby, Stills, Nash
There
and
you
Young.
go. CC, yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, now, if I could just put this forth, though, speaking of marrying a horse. Okay.
Of course.
The only entity in our world who could actually marry a horse and get along with a horse would be a woman.
Really?
And the reason I say that is, don't look at me like that.
Well, I'm looking at you like, what the hell are you about to say?
It's because I know about, like, for instance, the idea of breaking a horse. You know about breaking a horse?
Yeah.
A wild horse.
A wild horse, sure.
So only women know truly how to break a horse. I don't know why that is. But a man marrying a horse, it would never happen because he could never break the horse.
Interesting.
But the women know how to break the horse.
I got to look that up.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna have to look
They're better
that up.
at it than most men are.
Well,
I don't know why that
we
is,
are the
but it
neck,
must
you're
be
just
your
the
thing.
head. We move the head, so You big fat Greek wedding.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, because horses will take whatever ground they can. I'll never forget being on a horse trail one time, and they said, whatever you do, don't let the horse chew on the tree on the trail. Because if you let it chew on the
It'll
tree
stop on the trail.
it will stop on the trail, and it will never stop at a tree that it doesn't chew because you've lost control of the horse.
Right.
And of course, you don't want to pull up on the bridle because.
So we women know how to have the carrot in front of the males. Is that what you're saying?
Peace through strength. Let's put it that way.
Or manipulation.
I'll leave that to you.
Depends. Sometimes we need to do it, ladies. I'm just saying.
We do. Yeah.
Well, thank you. This was very enlightening.
It is.
And again,
Interesting.
I do want to talk about on the next episode, we'll just tease it, God, he or she.
And by the way, what we just talked about now, it's not anything I haven't said on my show.
Which I love about you.
And very few people kind of get back on me. I'll get maybe a letter from somebody citing a verse or something like that. But generally, I think that if you're a true conservative and you love God, then you are truly tolerant of people who are of the
Who were born the way they're
normal
born.
fashion. I mean, all these people who want to force bathrooms, curriculums, whatever, they're not the norm.
Right.
And unfortunately, people make them the norm, and they're really not. Most gay people just want to be left alone, like everybody else.
Heterosexual here, I'd like to be left alone.
And now we'll get, the whole God is a he, she thing is something
Oh,
else.
this should be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. As always, so much fun.
Great idea. You're always so, and when you said that, you said, I think we want to do this. I'm going, absolutely.
And now, before we do it, though, I'm going to make you read Terry Pratchett. Sir Terry Pratchett, may you rest in peace, all about Discworld. And he's got a lot of fans. So we'll talk about the planet of Discworld and the turtle and the 4 elephants that ride the back.
See, that's why I love talking to you so much.
I'm so weird.
That's why it's an experience.
It is an experience.
It is.
We hope to open up your minds and your souls and your hearts.
Yeah.
And that we're all human. And when it all comes down to it, it's all about love.
Yeah.
Evolve
it
with
definitely
love.
is. Yeah.
Thanks,
and
Jamie.
it makes sense, people. That's the thing. We're just not riffing here.
No.
This is like, hopefully opens up your mind and changes your mind maybe to anything positive. We're
Don't
fine.
judge people as you would not be judged.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And just be who you are and let people be who they are. We're not trying to wreck the world here, we're trying to make it better.
Okay. I'll get Jesus on you real quick. So the last gospel, Matthew, Sunday, the Pharisees challenged Jesus. What are the 2 top commandments? Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
Love God. And what did I say? Love God is you.
Yeah.
Loving God is loving you. Because to me, God isn't up there in the heavens. God's right inside of your soul.
Right.
And each other. So
Love your neighbor as yourself.
that's you.
Except when they behead your children, then you roll tanks.
Well, then,
That's
then
it.
there's a choice made.
Jesus was not a pushover,
No, I agree with that.
and God was not a pushover.
God's you. You're not a pushover.
Right. Get with the program, people.
Get with it. Any comments? I'm sure we'll have a lot of them. Please leave them. And we leave the ones that are mean too, because, hey, we all have a voice.
Yeah. No, this is about liberty.
Yep.
Liberty means your comments are welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's the Allman Diamond Experience.
Thank you for being a part of the Allman Diamond Experience. Got something to say? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. And if you'd like to cultivate more Allman Diamond Experience, and we hope you do, please subscribe and tell your friends.
Hold on a minute before you close the door. Excuse my honesty, I'm probably a comedy. But it would be a tragedy if I never spoke this soliloquy. Hold on a minute before you close the door. You're kinda lovely, but do you wanna talk some more? Hey, what's your interest? What's the music on your phone? Excuse my honesty, I'm probably a comedy. But it would be a tragedy if I never spoke this soliloquy. We could paint my bedroom with the color of your smile. The color of your smile. I think you feel it mutual, and that's why you haven't left. Not every guy's this eloquent, admit it, you're impressed, yeah. And if you'd like a coffee, I know a quaint little French cafe. You can put your number in my phone and we can color the wall someday. We could paint my bedroom. We could paint my bedroom. We could paint my bedroom with the color of your smile.